Hello and a warm welcome to Stiller Talks. I am Nitish. Today we are in conversation with Yogacharyaa Shaloo Dogra, based in Gurgaon, India. Having more than 25 years of experience in the field of wellness, yoga, and meditation. She is a published author with her first book on meditation called Everywhere. She has also been awarded as an exceptional woman of excellence at Women's Economic Forum. Today we are talking about health and wellness while working from home. Work from home has significantly disturbed our lifestyle. We are doing more things from the comfort of our home now more than ever. Let's first understand the significance of an active lifestyle. What are the complications and problems with a sedentary lifestyle or working from home? Over to you, ma'am.
Right. Thank you so much, Nitish, for having me here. Yes, it's been a heavy year, I can say, for a lot of people, and the balance between movement and rest, or you can say stillness, has been mm, jumbled up a little bit.
Right.
And whenever that happens, the disturbance happens in this balance, then there could be issues. An active lifestyle would mean that there is a healthy blood circulation, and so a lot of nutrition that we intake reaches our bodies, various parts of the bodies. And also, with an active lifestyle, one will be able to have a very good lymphatic drainage, which happens only with movement. Like lymph only moves through movement. And when we work from home, we could be just gravitating downwards towards gravity, and the pull is so strong that the upliftment factor is negated. So there could be pinching of nerves, there could be fascia or connective tissue which gets fuzzed up, and so that will have a lot of impact on a good flow in the body. We call this Nadi Flow in yoga. There are 72,000 nadis or channels, you can say, and that gets blocked. So
Right.
energy kinds of sits in various positions in the body where we you will feel it through dullness, through lethargy, through feeling tired all the time. And there could be postural issues also, the forward head syndrome, and there's a lot of stiffness in the shoulders or heaviness that can come in the upper part of the body. There could be low back pain and all of that also. So sedentary lifestyle could also actually also mean that there's a calorie surplus. So when we intake food, we're not able to burn, the food that we eat. In fact, there could be boredom eating because there's no movement, so there's no real spice in life that is happening. So we may be eating out of, that kind of pleasure that we get out of food. So a lot of issues happen from work from home, but they may also not happen. A lot of people have opted for stepping out of the house or doing an exercise for fun and all of that. But yeah, that's how it is for now.
Very nicely explained, ma'am. Now let's also put some light on how yoga and meditation can impact a healthy lifestyle and a positive mindset.
Right. So, yoga, as we all know, is not just for the physical, but it's also for the mental equilibrium. And the physical equilibrium, or you can say the homeostasis of the body, is very well maintained with yoga. When we don't do yoga, we could have inflamed or acidic or toxic buildup because there's no, like I mentioned earlier, no lymphatic drainage happening, or there are issues. Of course, it's not that there's no lymphatic drainage happening, but it can be compromised. So there's a lot of residue buildup or toxic buildup or calcifications. And when there is a homeostatic equilibrium loss, then a lot of our important organs can get affected, like the heart or the pancreas, the blood glucose or the pH level of the body. When all of this happens and we are a host to a lot of diseases, then we can't even our immunity can go down. So which means that if a pathogen enters our body, then we're not able to fight it off. So with yoga, what happens is we maintain that homeostasis. There's an internal and an external benefit to the system, where if we practice asana and pranayam, the body is very well affected. And with meditation, the mental mindset is also much lighter and stable. It's not fluctuating all the time. So with yoga, of course, done with some kind of an expert around would always be nice, but there is a lot of self-learning that one can also do now. There are so many resources, so we can make yoga a part of our life. See, what I would like everybody to consider is that yoga should not be treated just like an exercise, because not that I have anything against exercise, it has its own value, but when we put the element of dhyan or concentration, or you can say awareness or attention to all the deep dark corners in the body, then it is more in semblance of yoga, because there's no repetition or drill like movements, and you're able to just have a practice in your awareness inside the body. And when that happens, then every cell becomes independent, and when it is independent, it's awake to itself and it's not a burden to any other cell. I'll give you a small example. Like if there's a low back pain, we can understand that that's probably, it has various causes. It could be weak legs, it could be a weaker core, or it could be because one is sitting for so long. There's a lot of abdominal pressure that happens because everything is going down. We're not uplifted in our bodies. So when we do yoga, we cater to the whole body as an absolute truth of our system. And that includes our eyes and our ears and our hands, as much as the larger muscle groups. There are more than 600 muscles in the body, more than 200 bones in the body, and that takes care of all of those elements.
Right. So, speaking of bones, let's come to the next question. Many people experience a lot of chronic pain, such as back pain, joint pain, because of long sitting hours. Can you also recommend some yoga postures that one can practice to overcome these problems?
So the number one thing that I will tell, without even going towards the poses, so there are 84 lakh poses in yoga. And so without even entering the world of asana, what I will suggest is to uplift oneself. So starting from the tailbone area to the base of the head, there is our spine. And it gets contracted, and the vertebrae don't have enough space between each other, and we put a lot of pressure. Of course, everything is going through two gravities, so the lower back gets affected the first. So, one is to correct the posture, and then to be able to move, the shoulders get very stiff. So even even if one is sitting, one can do chair yoga and start with the upper body exercises, or just simply becoming aware of the fact that there's a lot of hunchback or pulling down of your body weight. See, an average person would weigh around 50, 60, 70 kgs, and when you look at the head or the shoulders and the neck, it's about 20 kgs or more, which one is, the neck gets affected and all of that. So the first is to be able to move the spine in a very fluid fashion. So there is an asana called Mercury Asana, which is also called a cat cow pose. So one can do that. It's by getting on all fours and arching the back up, and then arching it all the way down, and you do it with breath awareness. One must understand also, apart from dhyan or concentration being an element in yoga, that the breath is a huge element in yoga, in the sense that the breath is the master of the movement. So try to not stop your breath too much. Sometimes the body gets into a little bit of a shock when they're doing something new. So to just remember to breathe through that, and then the nervous system gets affected. Once the nervous system is affected, your whole hormones, your endocrine system, everything gets back to normal. So Mercury Asana is there, and then there are something called sun salutations, which takes care of pretty much the entire body. It has 12 poses, two of which repeat. So few of them repeat actually, and it includes a back bend, a forward bend. And if we can do sun salutations, that will help to rejuvenate the entire body. See, it's not just about the lower back, it's also the lower back is, everything is interconnected. So once there's rejuvenation and a revitalization in the whole body, then even the low back will benefit. Regarding joints, the hip joint, the tailbone, the sacrum area, that and the shoulders, the knees, and the elbows. All of that also gets affected by sun salutations. Then there's something or Surya Namaskar, you can call it. There's something called Gomukh Asana that also I highly recommend for people if they're working from home. You can even do it while sitting. Then there is a butterfly forward bend. If you can sit down with both your feet touching each other and do a forward bend from by uplifting yourself first and doing a forward bend. That's really really good for the body. Then of course there's Dhanurasana and there's Ushtrasana. But then again, I will restrain myself from giving too many asana names because I feel that it's like I'm giving a pill, and a person thinks that okay, if I do Ushtrasana, I'll be fine. But there are so many nuances to Ushtrasana, and if done in the correct fashion, then only it will help. Otherwise, it can even harm. So, dhire dhire to be able to uh, use the primary poses of an Ashtang series, maybe. The primary poses are important. The basics of the poses are important before you proceed on. The body should naturally want to progress rather than us doing a difficult asana. Then there's Purvottanasana, Paschimottanasana, there's Upavishthkonasana, Vajrasana. To be able to just sit in Vajrasana is also a very beautiful practice. And to never forget the element of dhyan when doing these asanas. Like I said, it's a practice in awareness, and we have the power within us to heal ourselves and to be able to empower ourselves just through our own, just by going inward and focusing on the presence that we are. So, along with the asanas, to practice that element, while doing the asana practice.
Right. Really appreciate you taking out time for this video, ma'am, and for sharing such incredible yoga insights. I'm sure many of us will be putting this to practice and experience the changes it brings to our lifestyle. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best.
Thank you.